the jury once you got back to your room what you did.
I stepped in my room, and by my alcohol being next to my bed, I figured I'd take a drink, but I didn't get a chance to do that.
Why?
Because the gunfire rang out.
I take a drink, every now and then I'll have a drink, and I will smoke a little. I'll do some toot now. I'll do a little toot. If somebody give it to me, offers it to me, I mean, you just, it sounds polite if you don't. So I do a little toot, somebody offers it to me.
Miss Bell, when you heard the doorbell ring at 3:30 in the morning, and you said your 18-year-old nephew came in, did you see the people who were with your nephew? Not recognize him, just did you see anybody else with him?
It may have been, but I didn't pay any attention because once I opened the door and it was somebody that I recognized, I just walked away. I walked away from the door.
Okay.
I didn't really pay any attention.
Okay.
I just walked. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm asleep. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't really pay any attention.
Did the demeanor of your 18-year-old nephew or any of the people who were coming in cause you any concern?
No.
Did they were they being loud or rowdy or anything like that?
No.
Did they in any way appear angry?
No.
Do you know or did you recognize what they did once you let them in the house?
No.
Now, do you like guns?
No.
Do you make it known to your nephews and nieces you don't like guns?
Yes.
Do they respect you enough to respect the fact that you don't like guns?
Yes.
All right. So on this day, if it's 3:30 in the morning, was the previous day the Monday, or are we now in a Monday?
The previous day was Monday.
So if it's this 3:30 Tuesday morning,
Yes.
did you see any guns in the hands of anybody that you let in the house at 3:30?
No.
Do you remember what anybody was wearing?
No.
Was there any room on the level that they came into that you saw them go in the direction of?
I didn't pay any attention.
Tell the jury what you did once you let them in the house.
I went back to my bedroom.
How far was your bedroom from where you parted ways with them?
I guess a few feet.
Did you hear anything from them, like anything?
Nothing.
Were you close enough to have heard if they've been arguing or anything?
No.
Were you close enough if they had been arguing to have heard it?
I would have heard it.
All right. Tell the jury once you got back to your room what you did.
I stepped in my room, and by my alcohol being next to my bed, I figured I'd take a drink, but I didn't get a chance to do that.
Why?
Because the gunfire rang out. And by then, I was hit.
Yeah, your voice dropped.
I was hit.
What did you say right before you were hit?
I picked up the ball, and then I put it back down because I was hit.
Did you hear anything before you were hit?
I just probably heard a gunfire, but nothing else.
When you say you were hit, what do you mean?
I was hit by a bullet. I was shot. I just said I was hit instead of shot.
Did you immediately know you had been shot?
Yes.
What happened? How did you feel it? Tell the jury what that was.
Well, actually, I didn't really feel any pain at the time. I was very scared, and I looked into my hallway, which is right my bedroom, the hallway right at my bedroom. So when I turned my back and looked around, the police was already there.
Do you have any idea how long it took you to gather yourself and look around and see the police?
I really didn't have any time.
Did you see when you realized you'd been shot, were you able to see if there were any holes in the house for a bullet to have come through? Like, did you see where it came through?
It came through my wall.
Through your what?
My wall.
Do you remember how many shots you heard?
No, I don't.
Did you hear more than one?
Yes.
Do you remember what they sounded like?
It was very loud.
Do you remember whether they were fast?
Fast.
You being way more dignified than me, probably. Was it or something different?
I really don't remember.
What do you recall doing after you looked around and saw the police officer in the house?
I just stood there by the bed.
By the bed?
I stood by the bed. I never sat down or anything. I just stood there.
Was the police officer inside your bedroom when you looked?
No, he wasn't in my bedroom. He was in the hallway.
Do you recall saying anything?
No, I didn't say anything to him.
Do you remember who all was in the house at that moment where you noticed the police was in the house?
No.
Did you have any idea where your nephew and your nephew's friends were?
No.
What about your sister?
She actually didn't even really see anything or hear anything.
Without talking about what she may have seen or heard, I mean where she was.
Oh, she was upstairs in her bedroom asleep.
Did she come down at any point and join you in your
No,
bedroom?
no.
Did you see her interacting with the group?
I don't recall. I didn't see that.
Tell the jury the next things you remember happening.
I remember the ambulance came and they put me on the gurney.
Okay.
And they prepped me as they taking me out the house. Once I was in the ambulance, I really did not know how serious the injuries were. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't really feel any pain until I was operated on. The pain was so excruciating that I wouldn't wish it on nobody.
Were you in the hospital one time?
I might have been in the hospital maybe a month and a half.
Ms. Bell, would you tell the jury if your neighborhood that you lived in on 1428 Adele Avenue was a neighborhood where younger, or you noticed your neighbors were?
No younger people. No younger people. Most of the residents there were older people. They had already been there for many years.
40 or older, or 30 or older?
They was older than that.
Did you notice whether any of them had kids that came often that you saw?
No.
Ms. Bell, I'm going to show you what has been marked as State's Exhibit 5KK, and forgive me for not knowing the military. Kilo, 5 kilo, through 9 kilo, and a copy Mr. Brown is providing to the defense for them to look at while you're taking a look at 5 kilo through 9 kilo. And just tell me if you recognize the area depicted in these photographs. Looking starting at 5 kilo right here. Do you see 1428 Adele Avenue?
Yes.
Is that a fair and accurate representation in 5 kilo of what you and your sister's home look like
Yes.
in 2015?
Yes.
What about 6 kilo? Are you able to see the house in that?
Yes.
Is that too a fair and accurate representation of what the house looked like?
Yes.
In 2015. Looking at 7, 8, and 9 kilo. Do you see 1428 Adele Avenue in each of these photographs?
Not in this one.
Okay. And this one is 8 kilo?
Yes.
All right. What about 7 kilo? Do you see y'all's house in that?
Yes.
Does it look like it did in 2015 and 8?
Yes.
What about in 9 kilo?
Yes.
All right. Now, do you see Adele Avenue in 8 kilo?
No.
All right. So, would 5, 6, 7, and 9 kilo aid you in more clearly telling and testifying to the jury about where things were, like your room and the holes or whatever you saw in the house were located on April 28th?
Ask me that again. I didn't understand you.
I'm sorry. All right. Do you see anything different about the house at 1428 Adele Avenue in these pictures than the way the house looked in April 2015?
No.
Your Honor, state tenders 5 kilo, 6, 7, and 9 kilo as evidence.
All right, admitted without objection.
Ms. Nye, are you able to help us publish? Okay. Starting with the court's permission, may I publish 5
May.
kilo? And Ms. Bell, it's going to come up on screen in front of you in one time.
Okay.
And we just on Ms. 5.
All right.
Once we blow it up, do you see where that arrow is in 5 kilo? If we could blow it up a little bit more. All right. And would you describe for the jury which of these houses is 1428 Adele Avenue after we get a gray box out of the screen?
The one with the cars in the driveway.
And would you tell the jury, are you able to describe for the jury where the front door of the house is?
The front door would be right there where those bushes. That's the front door.
And is that the door or the different door that you answered at 3:30?
That's the door.
And does that door face Adele Avenue?
Yes.
In relation to that door, would you describe which side of the house your room was on?
Straight.
Straight
through.
back?
Yes.
Were you ever able to see how many bullet holes ended up being in y'all's house that day?
I wouldn't say I seen it that day.
I mean, later on, were you able to see how many bullet holes?
Yes.
Approximately how many did you see?
I never counted them.
Was it more than 3?
Yes.
Do you know if it got up to as many as 10?
I'm not sure.
Do you know if that house had any bullet holes in it before?
No, ma'am.
that day?
Can I have a tissue?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Miss Bell, had you heard or had you ever experienced gunfire in the, was it 10 years
Yes.
that you lived there before that day?
No.
Do you know, or did you call 911?
No.
Do you have any memory of who, if anyone, called 911 in your house?
No.
Do you remember talking to anybody before the ambulance came? Do you remember having any
No.
conversation? Does your nephew, who at the time was 25, at the time in April 2015, did he have a child himself?
Yes.
Did you know the mother of your 25-year-old nephew's child? And by no, I don't mean like had a relationship with her. I mean, did you know who she was?
I may have seen her.
Did she live? Did you know where she lived?
No.
Had you ever visited her
No.
house? Do you know if she lived in an apartment house like y'all's or something different?
I'm not sure.
Are you at all familiar with Drew Drive?
Yes.
How are you familiar with Drew Drive?
Well, everybody knows the old Perry home.
It's the old Perry homes. And had you ever driven or gone to that area generally?
No.
All right. Do you have any idea how far it was from where you lived on Adele?
No.
Do you know whether your nephew's child's mother lived?
Objection, Your Honor. Ask the answers. She already said she doesn't know.
Overruled as to that.
Do you know whether your 25-year-old nephew's child's mother lived in that area?
No, I didn't know.
When you say you didn't know, are you talking about in 2015?
At that time, no, I didn't.
Do you now know whether she
I
lived?
did after everything happened.
And in April 2015, can you tell the jury today, in April 2015, did your nephew's child mother live on Drew Drive?
I think so.
Yeah, speak.
Yes.
Did you drive at that time?
No.
Did your sister drive?
She drives.
Now, the cars in the driveway of States 5KK, are those, that's not your car? Is
No.
that your car?
No.
All right. Is that your sister's car?
No.
All right. Do you remember what kind of car your sister drove? April 28, 2015.
Pacifica.
Pacifica?
Yes.
Is that a van Chrysler Pacifica
Yeah.
or something? Okay. Do you remember what color it was?
It was like a blue.
Blue?
Yes.
Any idea of whether it was dark, light?
It was like blue.
Okay. Do you know at the time that you were shot, do you know if there were any other cars in your driveway that you remember?
No.
When the ambulance came, do you remember where it was parked when you got in?
No.
Did you ever see any shell casings outside the house?
No, I didn't.
Did you ever see any bullets inside the house?
No.
Are you able to tell the jury where in the house you saw bullet holes? Generally speaking, not necessarily exact places.
I'm gonna say a picture picture window, what you call a picture window. That's old, but it was a picture window in my bedroom wall.
Do I have it? Is a picture window like over the sink in the kitchen or something?
No, the picture window, the first window,
First window.
at the front door.
Thank you. And did you at all ever see who it was that fired those rounds in y'all's house?
No, I didn't.
Just 1 second. I'm gonna play for you, Ms. Bell, what's already been admitted as Stacy's exhibit. 4 kilo alpha. And if you could tell me if you recognize the voice of the person speaking first after the option.
Put a lead out.
And that's 911, operator 6587. What's the address of your emergency?
Someone just turned a shot on my house and my auntie got shot.
Okay.
And stopping at 1417. Do you, without saying any names, do you recognize the voice of the person?
I think that's my niece.
The niece that lived with you?
No.
Okay, a different niece?
Yes.
Whose child was that niece?
Oh, wait, let me take that back. I'm not sure. They sound alike.
All right, we're gonna play a little bit more.
She said-
Okay?
Okay, let me hear it again. She said,
Yes, keep playing.
Okay, what's the address?
1428
1428.
Idea Avenue.
I recognize the voice.
You nod your head, we can pause. Is that the niece that lived with you or a different
It
niece?
needs to go with me.
All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Bell. Just 1 minute. I think that's all I have right now.
All right, man. So, moment of truth. Miss Love, B-. I was going to give her a C+, but because she was able to wrap it up in a couple of hours, there we go. There was a question that Keith Adams had objected to, and I kind of figured out what the hell she was trying to do. So basically, the lady, that's an older lady. I think she's like in her late 60s. Boy, that show you black don't crack if you don't smoke it. But good looking lady, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. She's like, I've seen women in their older 60s, like their late 60s. They don't look nothing like her, man. She kind of reminded me of my grandma. Just wasn't a super Jehovah's Witness. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah. If y'all grew up and y'all had a Jehovah's Witness grandma, man. Anyways, people probably mad as hell. Get to the story now. Get to the breakdown. Got you. All right. So basically, Keith Adams had essentially got an objection in about her age. And the reason that the lady brought the ages in was because, well, Miss Love brought the ages in because they kind of wanted to show that the sons were older, so it necessarily wouldn't have been the son's fault. They're trying to basically dispel theories that the jury could come up with or the defense. But the defense actually didn't have anything to say to her. So shout out to them, because at the end of the day, it's not really anything that they could do. I'm gonna be fair. If they would have pressed that lady, boy, that would have went. I'm about to make a name for myself here. That would have looked bad, bro. If they would have pressed that older lady like they have done other people and kind of made her fumble up her words and stuff like that, that would have been bad. They would have looked like bullies, flat out. They would have looked straight up like bullies. So shout out to the defense for not doing certain things. I think the only person who could have did anything was Weinstein. I think only Weinstein, because he doesn't have that voice. Maybe still could have pulled it off too. Matthews probably too, but Shart and Adams, hell nah. Sit your asses in the back. Hell nah. Y'all pit bulls. We ain't doing that. So what it seems like is that the youngin' that was her nephew basically got her house shot up. Now we'll come in and we'll hear more from police officers and all of that stuff about, you know, what happened, who shot up the house, and wars and gang and all that stuff and everything like that. But Seti Nash, why did Miss Love receive the highest grade she's ever gotten? Well, because of this. Miss Love's tone stayed the same. She was in more control. She wasn't able to fully get that emotional part out, but she didn't have to, because in the beginning, the older lady had that happen. So when she basically was like, I took a drink, but I couldn't do that because basically she got shot. And then she was like, she didn't feel it. And then when she got on the gurney and got the surgery and all that stuff, then she was in excruciating pain. Miss Love would have got a solid A if when she basically said that she got shot, if Miss Love would have said, hold on, what were your first thoughts after you got shot? Were you worried about anybody and all of that stuff? And if that woman would have said, yes, I was worried about my sister. I was worried about my nephews. I was worried about my family in that moment. Bruh, if she would have did that, I ain't gonna lie. Tears would have came out. That it would have been effing insane. So you had that happen. I think something like a juror had like a something. I don't know. Something happened with one of the jurors. I'm not. Miss Sylvia, she'll brief us on it or whatever the hell happened. Let me check real quick. Oh no, I didn't see it. So basically, a juror had an issue and basically had to call it off, and so they basically was like, go ahead and release your people for the day. The judge, at the time that it has ended, has not heard back from that juror. So if she ain't heard back from that juror, obviously it's some type of emergency. And if that's the case, I mean, all right, emergency happens. So we will see. It seems like we're going to start picking up pace. It looks like we're getting away from the big nut murder and stuff like that. And I'm going to be fair. The video I was going to put out on Sunday essentially was going to say the state proved that they cannot get justice for Donovan Thomas. Just going to be fair, square, obvious, and honest. We have no idea more now about who killed Donovan Thomas. Way less. Let me redo that. We know way less now than we did before we had this trial. Essentially, we thought we already knew Thug had him killed, and his last words was Thug had me killed and all that crap. Wasn't the case. We thought that we for sure definitively had video camera proof that shows these persons shot up this person. No, we don't. It was a Bonneville that shot up Donovan Thomas's spot and hit him, unfortunately. So there's that crap. So he's not going to get justice. The only justice that they could get is if Thug is convicted and then the survivors act and they can sue. So that's what the older lady is here for too. And I don't, please, for the love of God, do not get mad at this lady, because if Young Thug loses, they can now all go after Young Thug civilly. Some of y'all gonna be like, nah, that's not fair, that's not fair. If they are successful in painting Young Thug as the orchestrator of all of these shootings, well, not all of these shootings, but basically the guy behind most of the shootings and the person giving out the directions and guns and money and all of this stuff to do all this, he's the head. They'll be taking his ass out of here as far as the suing part of it goes. So that's one of the reasons why she's here. Because some people I seen in the stage like, why is she here? Why is she here? And it's clear to say that the custodian that was in, she has to verify the records so that the records aren't fake. She's non-partisan, anything like that. She just works. She tells you how all of this stuff is, whether this is fake, what's real, what's not real, and all this stuff. She's really good at her job. You can tell she don't want to be there, but she do it just because she has to. So there's that. So when the custodian came in and gave us all the records and all that shit, y'all basically was like, why the hell is she here? Well, she has to make sure that the records are clear and not fake. The lady being in there today, essentially, I took out a lot of the beginning because it was repetitive as hell, and y'all didn't want to watch all of that crap. So there's that. Miss Love, B- performance, because at the end of the day, she was able to let that woman tell her story, not really interfere. And you could tell the lady was kind of prepped a little bit, because there were times where she was like kind of going on a little bit, but then she stopped. So, that's part of why she gets a B-, because Miss Love prepped that lady to come in there, give a succinct performance, make it quick, and get it done with through the day. Now to the effing motions. It's all about lyrics. It's all about lyrics. It's all about bringing in old phone calls from old people and stuff like that. I still don't. What they're going to try to do with Duke is they're going to play a phone call of him on the phone with somebody and stuff like that when he's about to get out of jail. He's like, yeah, you got to have them girls for me and stuff. Basically, he's talking about women, and hopefully Duke wasn't in a relationship before then. That's just how guys talk. If Duke was in a relationship at that time, or if he had one right now and he been in a long-term relationship and stuff like that, that's just guys talk. He ain't do nothing. He faithful, man. The homie faithful. He said on paper, he from Rolling 60s. So every Rolling 60 member is very faithful to their women. They don't cheat. They're one of the greatest individuals ever. So there's that. Hopefully I don't get in trouble for the shit I just said. Other than that, they got other stuff that's gonna come in. Squirrel Brain Thorpe is about to pop in. That's probably, like I said, we can start. If y'all want in the comments, start saying how long you think his ass is gonna be on there. Sprinkler's gonna pop up eventually, and then it was kind of weird at a moment because it seemed like Miss Love was trying to get him to commentate on videos and interrogations that he wasn't in there, and she thought that Cats wasn't gonna catch up, and yeah, the hell they did. And so Shark caught that, but essentially, I ain't gonna lie. I would probably have to start docking the defense or not docking the prosecution team because from what we've seen, Glanville already said some of these lyrics can come in, and essentially the judge was like, nah, I'm not going to go through and relitigate all this stuff. It's basically for the appeal process, meaning, and it's supposed to go that way because unfortunately, y'all got to see the other side, and I know a lot of y'all are biased towards YSL and Young Thug and all this stuff, so you had to look at it from both sides. The stuff that Glanville said can't come in. When Miss Love tried to bring it in, the judge was firm, and this was last week. The judge was firm, like, no, that's not going to happen, and they pointed out, I think it was Sharp who pointed it out as well, that no, the judge already said this shit can't come in, so essentially, hell no. With that being said, Sharp said, well, I don't know. But we'll see. Because basically, he got to look at the transcript and find out. But I think Sharp knows that, nah, Judge Glanville said, hell no. But other than that, man, today was more of a lackluster day. I know a lot of y'all did not want to basically hear about anything. You had Slime Life Shawty. He going to be coming up. That's going to be interesting. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. So, yeah, Sideline Shotty ass is gonna pop up, and basically they're gonna paint it as he was one of the ones running around with Lil Rod. So that's the tie-in to the whole Lil Rod is YSL shit. Not that Thug hung out with Slime Life Shotty and hung out with Lil Rod. Thug hanging out with Slime Life Shotty, but they're also Lil Rod hanging out with Slime Life Shotty. They're trying to say that because he's hanging out with him, that makes him YSL, which is 100% not true. Young Thug does not know Lil Rod. Just don't keep it authentic with you. So there's that. They're trying to bring in Slime Life Shotty's lyrics and all that crap. So we'll see what happens. I got to try to find the lyrics real quick. I had it wrote down real quick. Damn. Can't find it. But either way, we're getting back to it where we're arguing lyrics and all this shit. And so, I don't know. But y'all let me know your thoughts on this one. If you got the word from the last time, be on the lookout and drop it all over again. So, yeah, if you made it this far. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But sure to keep your people aware, subscribe to the best and notified, and I will catch you in the next one.